Well, there goes that bit.
I tried.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Josiah,
I'm Daniel.
and this is Party of One. Oh, that was cute. Yeah, I like that. So
you may be wondering, there's two of us, but the name is Party of One.
Yeah, there's two of us, and the name is Party of One.
Yeah.
Why is that, Daniel?
Well, it's because we have plans.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't have good ones yet.
No, we're working on that.
The current plan is that eventually we may start doing one-on-one D&D sessions. We're both dungeon masters.
Yes.
In the game Dungeons and Dragons.
5th edition. But
Indeed.
I've played Pathfinder.
I also have. We've played it
Together.
Together.
Did you ever play 3.5e?
No.
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 So we're new. We're newer. I mean, I've been playing for 6 years. You've been playing for
4.
Yeah. So newer in the sense that we're in our 20s,
Mm-hmm.
not our 50s. So we didn't play the older editions.
Or been playing for 13 years, like my roommate.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
We're not the old guard. As
No.
you could tell by our baby faces.
Yeah.
Youthful glow.
But this is Party 1,
Mm-hmm.
where we're going to eventually do one-on-one D&D sessions. One of us will be the DM.
Mm-hmm.
One of us will be the player.
Ideally.
And then we'll go back and forth. We'll take turns. We'll do one-shots. All with the goal of building up our world. So you want to tell them a little bit about our world?
Wow. So Josiah and I made a world. We had separate worlds, and then when he almost tripped over me in the hallway...
I did trip over him in the hallway.
You did.
I fell.
Like you do. And then we were like, hey, we both have worlds. What if they weren't separate? And so Satira was born. And that's it. That's the whole world.
That's the whole plot.
So
that we're not.
we have both run campaigns on our respective continents, which are of the same world. And so we have parts of the world fleshed out. However, we have many continents that we know nothing about. Well, very little, I should say.
Yes.
And so we plan on potentially running smaller campaigns on those continents just to get an idea. Have an excuse, basically, to work on them, because you only work on what you need for the campaign when you're actually running a game. So the best way to work on something is to have a game there.
That's true.
And then you work on it, because you have to.
Uh-huh. Especially for us,
Mm-hmm.
because we're very lazy.
I was going to say busy, but
We're not.
we're lazy. Well,
We're not.
You're not.
I'm not busy.
I'm busier than I'd like to be right
I could
now.
do this easily. I'm choosing not to.
I was gonna say, you said we'll switch off, but I don't know if I'll have time to DM this.
We'll see. I'm gonna leave the chat visible on the video. This will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube and post. So if you missed anything, it'll be there. We'll make a channel. We'll figure it all out. But it's there.
I don't think we read chat.
Huh?
Someone
Yeah.
said I don't think we read.
We're not reading chat right now.
No. Well, I didn't know chat was there.
I didn't either.
Hello, chat.
Hi. Anyway, so
Yes.
that's long-term goals of Party of One.
One of them.
One of them. What are some of the other ones? What was your immediate goal? You sent me a message. You sent me a message over Discord with a
PDF?
specific PDF that you wanted to
Yeah.
run.
So there's a PDF. It's basically a mini game that with the intent to you play it, and you are basically the gods of a new world, and you take turns. You acquire points. And you spend the points to affect this new world. Basically,
Yes.
So I was thinking we could use that system to flesh out the other continents, because we have no maps.
We have
we have no clue what they look like.
None of all the continents. Real quick, we built the world Satira.
Mm-hmm.
And we built the world Satira because Daniel was running a campaign on his continent, Eastadar, and I was running a campaign on my continent of Dom, and we decided what if they were on the same planet. So we got to work, we formatted the planet, kind of ran through some rough ideas and stuck them all in and just said, that's it. And then over the past year and a half, we've been building up the planet, which consists of, at its peak, 6 continents total. Now 5 because of you. We'll get there. But there was 6 continents on the planet at its peak, and so we went to a little bit of work developing them. We've gone in and developed a little bit more about Lazamin, which was another one of the continents, which you guys played on Lazamin shortly. But we have 2 continents that we have not... Oh, and Nivral. We touched on Nivral. I did a lot of work on that. We have 2 entire continents that we haven't touched at all. And our players make fun of us for not knowing what's going on their continents, and we make fun of each other constantly. So we're gonna do some of that next week, maybe.
Sure.
Loosely. We're not gonna.
We'll find out. We'll let you know when we find out.
We'll let you know in a week when we do this again. We're gonna do this Tuesday nights.
We're doing this every week.
Ideally.
Wow.
If you want to.
Yeah.
If you can.
It was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Every week.
Wow.
Once
I'm
a week.
excited. Can't wait to be here next week. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is my room. We're in my room.
Oh shoot.
It's hot in here. I don't want to turn on the fan because the microphone will pick it up.
That way it's blasting directly.
No. I haven't. I have a little fan.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
We can put
He's cute. No.
Let's open the door.
No. It's the worst idea. No, sit down.
I was gonna lock it.
It's already locked.
Oh.
I think. I didn't unlock it, unless you did. You may have.
Well, I came in and you didn't. You haven't gotten up since.
Then yeah, it's unlocked. All right. Pause. There you go. So we'll be back next week, and we'll continue with some of that. Ideally, next week will be the part that we work on. The actual
it's probably
building the
starting
continents.
with the one that we currently know nothing about. We had one of the continents. We had a third member of the or whatever we are, where we gave them. They had a continent, and we were like, hey, what if it's on the same world as R2? Because that's what we did. But he kind of dropped off the face of our planet specifically. So we now have a continent which we know nothing about, other
than the name.
Well, I was going to say other than the theme.
Oh, the theme. Yeah, so each of our continents is divided up into a cool little theme.
Segue.
It is a good segue. The theme for the continent was called Elitant. We may change the name.
Probably. It doesn't fit the.
It doesn't fit the theme.
Schema.
But the theme was magic. And so what we did was we took each of our continents and we had them have a specific theme where 3 of the continents had one theme, and then 3 of the continents were the antithesis to the original 3. So the 3 I'm just going to pick were Elitant, which will be renamed, Dom, which the focus of Elitant was magic, the focus of Dom is war, and Lazamin?
Yes.
What was the focus of Lazamin again?
Order,
that's right. And then on the flip side, the antithesis to each of these continents, for Elitant, the antithesis was Nivral, which is no magic. It was completely void. Anti-magic. It was completely void of magic. The antithesis to Dom was Dami, which is peace. And then the antithesis to Lazamin was Isidar, which is chaos.
Yes.
So each of those continents, we want to flesh out Dami a lot, because it's cool.
It's also much bigger than.
It is much bigger than Elitant, so that one's gonna take a lot of extra work. I have some ideas that I've toyed with, but we may just scrap it and start fresh for fun. We'll see. And we're gonna completely revamp Elitant entirely because nothing in there fit the theme at all, and we also don't know anything about it. So we're just gonna
I know too much about it.
I know nothing, so we're gonna scrap it. Maybe I'll do that one. That way you don't feel guilty.
All right, I'll do Dami then.
That works. That works really well.
After that, we mean we're gonna do them together.
We're gonna do them together. It's more fun. Party of 1. There's 2 of us.
Party of 2.
Kind of like the Mighty 9. There's only 7 of them. It's a Critical Role joke. Moving on. So after that, we're gonna do. That'll be next week. We'll run through the various continents. We'll flesh those out, and then maybe we explain Isidar, Dom, and Lazamin a little bit more. I think that'd be fun.
Do some lore.
Oh, and Nivral. Kind of fill that out. And then what I want to do, and I'm running this by you. I've already kind of run this by you, but timeline.
Yeah.
We have built this world. And we have structured this world out, lasting, at the moment, more than like 13,000 years.
Yeah, it's
something.
like 13,200 and something.
Or I thought it was 600.
It might be.
It's between 13 and 14,000 years. I don't think it makes a big difference in the grand scheme. We've structured out a history of almost 14,000 years in our world, and we want to share it. We have some really cool stuff. We've developed the creators of our planet, the creators of the whole universe. We've done a little bit with that, but we're not quite ready to reveal that.
We've got we've got the nails. We just got to figure out where to hammer them in.
And find a hammer. But
we're using our hands right now.
Yeah, we're just kind of smacking nails.
Quite working.
But yeah, so we'll do a timeline of Satira. That's the name of our planet. What does Satira mean? Do you remember?
World.
I think it actually does mean world.
I think it just means world.
Most of our world is based off of biblical Hebrew because we thought it was fun, and there's a lot of religious imagery in our world.
Yep.
For fun reasons.
Also, the number 7.
The number 7
mostly by accident. I blame him.
That was. I just had 7 suns. We built 7 continents. There are 7 continents. There are only 5 now.
Because two of them.
Hey, there are only 5 suns though.
Hey, you're right.
Well, we had 7 continents and 7 suns, and now there are only 5 continents and 5
if
suns.
If you count what was
over the course of history,
result of
yes,
the 6th sun,
it's the same with the continent.
In the sky,
it's the exact same with the continents.
No, you're right.
We'll share that later. There's a lot to explain, and it might take a while.
I mean, you saw how long I could go with just the culture of my Dragonborn. we're gonna be here.
For a while. So we'll do a timeline. I'm not gonna do it. We're not gonna do that this week because we need time to
figure it.
Write it down.
Yeah,
figure it out. Also, we want to get maps for you guys. Visible.
True. We have been planning on. We have a world. And we know what continents are on the world.
We don't know where they are in relation to each other.
We have no clue what it looks like.
We have not built a globe, which, in our defense, how do you even do that? How do you even...
Listen.
Do you pay someone to build a globe for you? How do you build a globe?
We build a 3D model.
On what? Just with our hands?
A 3D model. I think it's self-explanatory.
Play-Doh?
Why not? And then you poke it.
With a needle. You draw the... Yeah, we're not doing that.
You get nails.
We're not doing that. We have a map making program, but it only goes so big. It's not very big maps.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure something
out. Someone's got it made up. I think we even looked this up at one point.
We haven't done a ton of
but
research
it's been
on the
like
globe.
A year.
The globe has been one of our longest term goals.
But also the least relevant.
Yeah, least relevant.
So we just haven't
goals.
done it. But we really should.
I think the only thing that's important. The only thing that's important about the globe is you guys traveled from Dom to Nivral, and you sailed northeast, and Lazamin is south of Nivral. That's all we know. And Isidar is on the North Pole.
Yes.
So we have a lot of freedom. We have a lot of freedom with that. So we'll get that at some point. Ideally, we'll have something prepared for that. So, and then
likely I should mention wherever the tip of my continent is, where Avantia is, that should be roughly like the side of the continent where the Dom is.
Oh yeah,
ships from Dom would most likely go on that region.
That makes sense. You said Avantia. You have not said Avantia before.
Wow.
What's Avantia?
Avantia is where the majority, by that I mean all of my current Isidar campaign has taken place. It is a human-run civilization, the only one of its kind on the continent, because the continent has been separated from the rest of the world by a giant storm that is completely encircling the entire North Pole, as well as the continent of Isidar. And so Avantia was recently sort of rediscovered by humans. I say rediscovered because there were humans living there for about 750 years who also came there through the storm and then lived there for 750 years. And then more humans came.
Yes.
And we're like, whoa, there's a continent here. and now adventurers and people started coming, and there was a bloody war, and now we're getting into territory where I would have to start laying out the entire history of the region because a lot has happened.
We're not gonna get into right now.
Because that's where my entire campaign took place. So I would list my entire campaign.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that right now.
Breathe. With the crystal.
Avantia is an area on his continent.
Whoa.
Where humans are.
Oh, is that all you wanted from me?
Well, I mean, that's to simplify his ramblings. You're like a mad scientist. You just kept going, and you were mumbling at one point. I don't think the microphone picked it up.
Probably not.
But that's okay. We'll figure it out in post, whether or not it was coherent. But for now,
You're the editor.
I am the editor.
I know.
I am the entire crew. You just walk into my room, talk about D&D for however long we sit here for, and then you leave, and then I do everything else. Anyway, I have the time. I'm just lazy. So we have a lot of room to play.
We do.
We have plans, quite a bit of them. Then following the timeline, following having maps, following all of that, we're going to begin one-shots. One of us being the DM, and the other one being the one single member of the party, hence party of one. We may do one-shots, we may do some small campaigns. We haven't quite
We'll feel it out.
Yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens.
Depending on how much time we have. And...
What are some of our ideas for some of those one-shots?
Yeah, so I brought up the idea of continuing on with some of the characters that I specifically have played in one of your campaigns on Dom. I've got a few characters who have lived beyond the campaign and are now extremely high level and have their own ambitions and goals, and one of them is a god now.
Yes,
so seeing what they're up to would be pretty fascinating. That was one of the ideas I had. What about you?
I introduced a character in a one-shot named Kevin, who's a horse who talks.
Yeah, he's a talking horse.
Yeah, his dad was a horse-headed minotaur, and his mom was a centaur.
Oh,
I don't think it matters.
That's fair.
One of them was a horse-headed minotaur. The other was a centaur. His sister is just a human woman, and he's a horse
who can talk.
So,
and it's also, I think, immortal.
Confirmed? No, but
didn't he show up somewhere, or is that just us being dumb?
I think that was y'all being dumb.
Probably.
I don't think I did that. Hold on, sorry, I'm setting this up because I forgot to do it earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, well.
What if the mic's just...
There we go. All right.
Off.
Well, I have it muted, so we wouldn't know. All right. Don't stop looking at it. Sorry. Distracting, I know. But yeah, so that was one character who I introduced that to you guys in a silly one-shot with a floating fish, a floating catfish, and you guys were kidnapping a woman who wanted to be kidnapped.
So rescuing, I
think, is the correct way to put that. And it was a really fun little one-shot, and you guys really liked Kevin, and I think it'd be just a funny little... party
see what Kevin's up to.
Yeah. Outside of that, I'd like to do... So, we'll get into a little bit more about major characters in our world later when we do the timeline. But one of the things I really want to do is I really want to dive into creating mythos in our worlds. Creating characters who... Like, our world needs a Hercules. Mm-hmm. Our world needs a Perseus. Our world needs Achilles.
Largely unnecessary and irrelevant, but extremely cool.
Extremely cool, and like, who cares whether it's necessary or relevant?
I was just explaining why we haven't done it.
That's true.
Up until this point.
Yeah, because
this podcast is giving us an excuse to do things that
we want to because they're fun.
We want excuses to do.
We want to do things, and so we're going to do them, and this way we have
under the veil of being productive.
That's how I get anything done. It's fake things where I'm pretending to be productive.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, one of the major names I'd like to play around with is Maggiano. Mm-hmm. Maggiano was a very powerful orc in our world who invented magic.
Or discovered.
On
your view.
he made it. Well, it's kind of like the guy. It's kind of like the guy who invented math or discovered math. It's like you don't really know.
You don't really know. You can argue both ways.
But he was the first spellcaster. He lived for thousands of years, and then
he was the first wielder of magic, regardless of how you view he got it.
Yes, and so I'd like to play through him getting it.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty interesting. Have a world with no magic.
Yeah, play through some other interesting characters. Some other. I'd like to play through some big names, and make some big names. We don't have a lot of those. But I'd also like to play through some little small characters, side characters you guys bumped into in your campaign. I'm trying to think of the captain of the ship, though, that you guys chartered to Nivral.
Stone Sworn?
Stone? Oh! I'm not even thinking of her. Frick, what's her name?
Oh, it was your character.
I know. It's not Ella Stonesworn. It's something.
No.
I had a character. She's shown up in multiple campaigns now. As a captain of a ship, and she's freaking dope. And I think that'd be a cool one shot to run. So we've got a lot of ideas, a lot of little one shots, a lot of world building, a lot of world explaining, a lot of sharing our ideas.
Fan service to our players.
With our players mostly. I mean, we're more than happy for anyone else watching this, but I know that every single one of our players will at least watch one of these. Hopefully. I think a couple.
At least one will watch all of them.
Robin will watch all of them.
Robin, if you're not already here.
When
you're watching this on YouTube, I guess.
You're either here or you're watching this, or you're going to watch this on YouTube and post. Either way, put a comment then. If we see a comment pop up, she's here. She's not here. Okay, well, that was tragic. Embarrassing. But yeah, I think it's plus we watch it. Oh, Millicent Stonesworn. She is here.
Wow.
Millicent.
How?
She's dope. Yeah, she is dope. She is here. Robin is here. Never mind. Thanks, Robin.
It's even more sad now because we look like idiots.
Yeah,
we look like idiots. Welcome to the show.
We are gonna look like idiots anyway, all the time. Anyway, I'd like to do a one shot of Millicent Stonesworn. I'd like to introduce her. I don't know. Maybe we'll do pre-party meet her or post-party meets her.
Yeah.
Who's to say? If Daniel is ever busy or I am ever busy,
that's my name.
That is Daniel's name. If Daniel's ever busy or I'm ever busy, we might just bring in someone else.
Yeah. Guess.
Think that'd be a fun little guest party of one. Mm-hmm. Ooh, we should make a custom. We're gonna make a custom thing around us that makes it easier to tell what the heck is going on, and I think we should have little names. We should have our names little tag boys that sit on us.
Also, I was just looking. An alternative name for the podcast could be two dudes in flannel.
We are both in flannel.
We are now required to wear flannel. That's in the contract.
Oh, hang on. Stop thumping the table. Robin said every time we thump the table, they can hear it really loud.
What am I thumping the table with?
You've been smacking it. Every now and then. Every now
and
then.
Like
yeah,
this?
Stop. I just did it too. It's the first run, and that we haven't. Stop it. We haven't actually done a single test.
Nope.
Either.
Well, we tried to. It failed.
This is the dry run. Mm-hmm. So this one, I mean, it'll see YouTube, but we may see a substantial improvement in quality next week.
And shirts.
Let's just keep wearing flannel.
That was my idea.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to do sweaters at some point, but I can.
It's freaking hot in here.
Yeah, it's hot, and it's only gonna get hotter. February's almost over. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Any other plans to share? Ideas? Anything that you've just been thinking about that you might toss at me without me knowing ahead of time? You're laughing like you've got something.
No, I'm laughing like I should have had something.
Disappointing.
I know. An alternative name to the podcast. Two disappointing dudes in flannel.
We're just disappointments.
Yeah.
My mom always said I was a disappointment.
My mom said that about you too.
Your mom.
Oh,
knew?
sorry. Was that too much of a table bump?
What?
My knuckles brushed the surface of the table.
You're the worst. You're the worst person I've ever worked with.
You too.
This is work for me. I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, that's true.
Not much.
I'm actually paying you most of it, but once I figure out how to subscribe.
So no, you're not paying me anything yet.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you want to work for me?
Sure.
All right. $5 a month.
I get half of it.
$250 a month.
$250 a month. Hey man, that's about as much as they pay me at IT. But yeah, if you like us at all,
for some reason,
for whatever reason, and you're coming back, or you want to come back,
I might come back.
there's a follow button. You should come back. There's a follow button. There's a little heart you can press on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
There's a subscribe button available if you want to give us your money. It'll go to me. And then if enough people start subscribing, then Daniel will get half of it. But if other people aren't subscribing, I'm going to assume it's from the gaming portion of this Twitch. I do other things as well. This Twitch is live fairly frequently. I toss up silly little gaming videos where I run around. We're going to make a YouTube for this. Might as well. So all of this will end up on YouTube sooner or later. Could just convert the Odd Encounters YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
It already exists.
I already got some followers.
I think.
Probably.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Couple. So I need to either not lean back or figure out what to do with this blanket because my head keeps bumping into it. Or I lean like this.
Yeah, we'll come up with a more comfortable. Stop it! You're gonna knock the blanket down.
Probably. That's the goal.
I want a green screen blanket.
That's a subscriber goal.
That's
we get 10,000 subscribers. Get a green screen blanket.
I have 2, 3. Hey,
we'll get there.
We can dream.
Goals. Long-term goals are important.
A green screen blanket would be dope. I would love to project maps right here, and then like we can look like weathermen. Will we point?
2 disappointing dudes in flannel doing the weather.
Pretending to do the weather.
Of
Satira. Why don't we give them a little taste? We still got time. It's like 9:15.
Yeah.
We've got.
Let's go. When
All right.
When did we start?
Huh?
When did we start?
When did we start?
Yeah.
8:40.
Fair enough.
8:45. So we've been going for about 30 minutes.
Show them.
Okay. I don't have maps. Oh, my laptop's right here. Underneath this blanket.
Oh wow! And behind.
Don't look.
Behind scenes.
Don't look. You're gonna see my bed.
Behind the scene.
I'm a college student. This is my dorm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell you where.
We're actually occupying the majority of his room.
This is about half the room.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. There's my friggin' laptop. Oh, now we can put the script on here. And then.
Well, I was gonna say in the future when we're more professional, we just have the notes in front of us.
Good idea.
We don't have to look at our faces the whole time. We have 2 streams up.
Stop smacking the table. Don't do it. I don't know. It feels wrong. I'm not gonna do it right now. We'll pull up stuff on here first.
We need to figure out how loud the table smacking is because it's gonna be a hard habit to break.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a few things. The microphone. I have a boom.
Yeah.
For the mic. Hang on,
I was gonna say that'd probably fix it, because I imagine it's the reverberations.
I have this guy.
Because under this is hollow.
Yeah, this isn't the table. It's my dresser.
It's not.
Oh. We have a boom.
His clothes are right here.
Stop. It's my underwear. We have a boom.
I know.
So that might actually fix our issue if we could just raise the mic.
You'll find out next week when the mic is moved.
When the mic is raised.
Yes.
And
just like our salaries when you subscribe, Robin.
Let's guilt trip her into giving us money to do this. Okay, these are my notes for Drowl Spellscorn. This is not relevant.
No. Well, it could be. If we change it to Party of Drawl.
Party of Drawl. I named the character Drawl because I couldn't come up with a better name, so I named him after a southern drawl. Sorry, Robin's texting me again. Robin is our new crew. She said chat isn't loading. What's...
I don't
know.
Oh, because she's probably... It's really small. I blame Josiah.
She said dot. I can make it bigger. I can make it bigger right the frick now.
Do it. Make it... That's all we need to see.
Chat box. Alright. Type something in chat, Robin.
Spam chat.
It's bigger. You should be able to see it now. Okay, I'm still pulling this up. Where the frick is your Ethron's notebook? There it is.
Could be
unprofessional. We're winging it.
I know. It wasn't an insult. It was a fact.
Of course,
that's our mission statement.
Our mission statement is unprofessional. Two unprofessional dudes in flannel
in front of some dude's bed, using his dresser as a table.
You have a page in here titled Thoughts, and then a page in here titled What Am I Not Prepared For? And it just said, I cannot load this section. Irony. Alright, sit here. I'm pulling up. Is it on sit here? Where are we looking?
What are we looking at?
I don't know. What are we doing?
What are we looking for?
What are we talking about?
This is your idea.
No. Oh, that's much bigger. It's way bigger.
Oh, we saw that.
Yeah. We'll go half the size, and we'll put it
in my mouth.
Up top.
Where's it going?
Yeah, there we go. It's up top. There.
All right, right in the
right
here.
Let's
practice that.
Pick your favorite thing about our world.
Whoa, stars.
That's what I have stars pulled up.
Whoa, wow.
Because I knew it was this answer.
Because it was my idea.
So explain.
Oh, shit.
It's your one contribution to the world. Explain the stars.
Wow.
Why are the stars different on our world than on any other world?
The stars. So when someone dies on Satira, their soul is sent up into the heavens, and it occupies a place in the sky and becomes a star.
Now, are those stars visible all the time?
No. You see, you can only see the star of the person who died on the day that they died. And so every day, you will see a different sky of stars, because you are seeing the souls of all the people that died on that day all of the years in the past. What, the chat?
Robin's chat right in the middle.
Well, stop looking at the chat.
It's going to be bottom middle.
Okay. Now it's going to blend in with the microphone.
I know. Fine. I'll leave it alone.
Put it on your face. Just put it on your face.
No, I'm not doing that. You guys can't see the thing we're messing with. There is no entertainment value here.
It's just us being idiots.
It's unprofessional idiots. So
every day you're seeing a different sky of stars, because you're seeing the different souls of the they're technically still there in the day. You just can't see them because there's the sun.
Actual question on Isidar, where you can't see any of the suns right now because of reasons that we'll get into when we do the timeline.
You can in fact see stars constantly, and there's something called the blinking. It's a terrible name, but basically where the stars. I know I did.
Stop smacking the table.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna put the mic on a boom.
I have to. We're just gonna sell it this rest of the time.
I'm gonna put the mic on a boom connected to the freaking
use your
bed behind me.
My elbow is in your underwear drawer now. Can this get us demonetized?
No.
Anyways, on Isidar, which is on the North Pole, there are no suns directly visible because of math and geography. But yes, your question was, can you see the stars all the time? And yes.
Felt like the dude we just went to. we just went to a seminar. The reason we started way later than we wanted to. We wanted to start a lot earlier, but we went to a seminar, and the guy got around to answering questions, and he just repeated the seminar every time anyone asked him a question. And after the fourth or fifth question, we were like, all right, we're leaving. We're out. The questions were irrelevant anyway, because he answered them in the seminar. Anyway, side rant. Stars are cool.
Yep.
No, I remember you mentioned something, and now you have done all the work. You've done all the work on this, so you're the expert here.
All right.
I'm interviewing you. You're the star expert. I'm here with.
I'm the star.
Daniel, the star of my life. I remember you mentioning
Mhm.
about the stars that different times of the different days of the year where different major events happen, the stars take different shapes.
Yes. This is an idea
Take it away.
I've been playing with because it's very abstract and weird, but
Well, that's where we thrive.
yeah, you're right. We're abstract and weird, let's be honest. But an example of this would be, let's say you've got a major battle on a day, which happens usually. They happen
Battles happen.
on days.
People die.
And nights. Either way, you will have a whole new host of stars that go into the sky. And they will sort of... The souls are still... We don't really know how this works, but the souls still kind of know, what they were in life. They know they were soldiers. They know they had an army. You what?
To a degree.
Yeah. We don't really.
We haven't.
But like they're
we haven't done a lot of work on that yet.
But either way, let's say in this example of the battle, there are two sides, and they fought, and a bunch of people died. The stars will kind of reflect how they died in life, where they were soldiers on the side, and so in the sky you will be able to see two distinct kind of groups of stars, because they will group together in whatever army they were in, and so you can kind of see formations like that. Or a particularly powerful ruler, or perhaps even a god, dies on a day. Any followers of that god or person may find themselves gravitating towards its star in the sky. Wow, he's doing it. He's pulling it up.
I'm pulling up notes.
Oh
Dear.
my god.
That's not.
Now, Josiah,
Hi.
can they see this?
No.
Didn't think so.
This is just for us. So that's cool. Freaking dope. A lot of work done into that.
Not much.
But you have put a lot of work. So one of the things you mentioned is that the stars kind of half remember who they are.
Sure.
And so they will act out battles in the sky, and that's a small thing that they will do. Now, one of the things that you touched on, we've done a lot of magic users who utilize the stars. Because why wouldn't they? It makes sense in the world. So one of the things that you talked about was magic users who can call a star down to gather information. You want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so one of the key ideas with stars is that if the souls are in the sky, then people have kind of looked up and been like, hey, maybe I could talk to them. They're right there. And so you have basically these orders of magic that have been created around the idea of using the stars, as you said. And one of them are called star snatchers, where they have developed a form of magic where they're able to call down certain stars and capture them just long enough to have very limited conversations with them. And so this can be used to get information. It's similar to like a Speak with Dead spell, where instead of the body, where you're calling the soul to the body to talk to it briefly, you're actually talking to the soul directly.
Yep.
It's very powerful and difficult magic. Not many people can do it, and that's one of the ways. I guess that kind of leads into how necromancy works in the world, because the stars are in the sky, or the souls are in the sky as stars. I think I was talking to my roommate George, who also plays he's the one who's played for 13 years, and he was wondering how necromancy is viewed, whether it's evil or not. And kind of the answer I gave was the souls have left the body, and so if you're raising something from the dead, like a zombie, you're not really messing with the soul, you're just
messing with the body.
Messing with the body. So it's not a huge deal. Some people are like, that's weird, that's a body, don't do that. But it isn't strictly evil. Whereas if you are enslaving a soul for your own uses, that's evil. That's evil.
Reminds me of a character we'll be playing with a little bit later.
He's trying to guilt me.
I am, because he had a character who trapped people's souls and used them.
I didn't trap them. I consumed them.
It's worse. Anyway, actually, yeah, I read an interesting thing on the topic of necromancy. That was talking about how a butcher gives use to a dead body of an animal. And the dead, like nature, gives use to the dead body of plants with fungus. Like fungus gives use to the dead body of plants. So a necromancer just gives use to the dead body of a human. practical application.
Pretty practical.
And I think in some cultures that may not even be seen as taboo
Probably not.
on our world. And some cultures it would be seen as taboo.
Very
because
taboo.
It's freaking gross.
Leave the dead to rest.
Also, it's gross.
Not that it actually affects their rest.
It's gross.
But you do it. But it's also gross.
There we go. Thank you. I just wanted you to acknowledge that it's gross. But not everywhere would it be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So on here, on our notes in front of us, because we changed out our
Indeed
page of our faces for notes.
We're both egotists, I should mention. Well, he's an egotist.
Hey. You have written down.
We had 2 screens with our faces on it.
Shut up. We have written down Star Seers, Soul Sayers, Star Snatchers.
I wrote all of this
Starborn?
about a year ago.
Oh, this is old?
This is very old. Basically, that's not the only way you can use the stars. There are some people who look at the stars and go, I want to talk to them. There's some who look at the stars and say, those are really big patterns that probably mean something, and then try and determine what they mean. Do they mean something? I don't know. Let's see, that star... There's also those people who like looking at stars. Stars are just cool.
Stars are cool.
They look cool, like in our world.
Yeah.
So those are kind of just astronomers. Those are called star seers. Soul sayers are the ones I just talked about. They try and they're astrologers, where they try and glean information from the stars without actually talking to them, because it's just lazy.
Yeah.
They just and safer, because you don't get caught for
It's true.
dropping a soul. And then Starborn is a unique type of sorcerer who, if you have a family of people who members of that family, or you have a line of descendants who have repeatedly died on the same day, and their stars keep collecting in the sky, they will, as I mentioned before, kind of gravitate towards each other because of the familial bond. If you get enough powerful people who have died on the same day, who have a connection to someone who's born, they may be able to kind of coalesce into a form of power granted to that person in the form of, in this case, a sorceress origin of the stars.
Which is
just
just
Starborn.
freaking cool.
It's just cool.
So, lots of work gone into the stars. Daniel's done a lot of world building, a lot of just kind of coming up with really cool ideas.
And then not fleshing them out.
Which is okay. We're getting there. That's what this is for.
You're right.
Now, I did have this is segued into another topic. Continuing the conversation.
Wow.
Because I'm having fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Why wouldn't we?
We should hang out more.
We should. Oh, yeah. You want to be friends?
No. We literally hang out all the time.
Fair enough.
We live across the hall from each other.
My room's right there.
His room is very close. This ties in really well to another segue of something we haven't fully fleshed out, but we touched on briefly in a passing conversation. And I'd like to take this moment where we don't have a set script for this first episode. We're winging it. And I'd like to take some time to toy with the idea. So, the implication with the stars,
yes,
is that they are not big balls of gas floating around in space.
Nope, because they're souls.
It's true. Now, that comes with a further implication. Our planet is currently, and for about half of its history, not revolving, or it's never revolved. Our planet has always sat still, but it has been revolved by 5 suns traveling together. We'll explain the suns in detail later. Do you want to go and do that?
I mean, we could.
I'll do that in just a second. Basically, the suns rotate around the planet. The planet doesn't move. The stars fill the sky based on souls of the dead. So here's what we'll do. Here we go. Writing the script live. Right here. Look at that. Explain the suns so that they know what the heck I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then
Step A.
Explain and maybe come up with
Step 2.
What's in space.
Yeah, all right.
I'll give you time to think about it.
I already have an initial thought, but
all right, dope. Well, I'll explain the suns. Suns are pretty straightforward. Well, no. To explain the suns, to explain the suns, I have to explain the architects.
Should I get our prop?
What's
of the suns?
What is it?
The physical, what the suns are?
Oh, dice. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm so stupid. I don't care. Do what you want. If you can find my dice, they're over there somewhere. I don't keep them on display like Robin does. I mean, some people. So basically, our world was created by 4 architects. We'll get into this a little bit more, who these architects are, where they come from. We have some ideas in the works of who they are, where they come from. But 4 architects and 1 seeker, who is kind of over the architects, created the world. And the way the architects did that is by forging suns. So the architects forged 4 suns. The first sun was the sun of creation, which is in the shape of a D4.
All of the suns are in the shape of polyhedrons.
Yes, or dice from Dungeons and Dragons. And there's a reason for that. So the first sun was creation, and it was created by the architect Swagnar, I believe?
Yes,
the dwarf. The second sun was the sun of knowledge, created by the elf.
I don't have the names.
Whose name I don't remember.
Awful notes.
This is not good notes. Well,
there's a page on the architects, isn't there?
Yeah, it's making the architects. You just gotta swap back. No, up.
There it is. The elf.
Aileen.
Aileen. That's right, Aileen. Frick, where are we? Oh, this is so poorly done. The third sun is the sun of spirit, which was created by all 4 of them working together. The fourth sun was the sun of power, created by Zrul, the orc. Thank you. And the fifth sun was the sun of change, created by Nina, the gnome. So the 5 suns were created together, and then all the architects worked together one more time to create the 6th sun, the sun of life. The architects then performed a ritual where they shattered the 6th sun and spread shards of the sun over Satira, which created life on the planet.
Wherever the shards fell on the surface of the world, life sprang up.
With some combination of the shard impacting a specific aspect of the world. So from the mountains came the dwarves, from the woods came the elves, and so on and so forth.
From the water came all of the
water things. So on and so forth.
Yes.
Then, following that, with the life sun shattered, what was left over from the life sun was the sun of death, or we called it Bane. The architects took Bane, and they placed Bane in the center of Satira, and they built the planet around
out of fear.
Bane, out of fear.
Because Bane wanted himself back.
And he was going to take as much life as he could. So Bane was death. Bane corrupts and decays everything. Following that, the architects then placed the 5 remaining suns, which are creation, knowledge, spirit, power, and change, in the sky. And placed the suns to revolve around Satira. That's the basic history. We'll get into Maggiano later.
Suns.
That's the suns.
We call them the 7 suns, although currently there's 5 in the sky, 1 in the planet.
But they're in the same way we call them seven continents.
The other one is dispersed within
7 moons.
Living creatures.
We do have 7 moons. Yeah. One of the continents exploded, and its chunks revolve around the planet. Although one of them just sits.
One of them just floats.
We don't. Have we come up with why?
Listen.
All right, we know why. We're just not going to share. But that's not important right now. What is important is the suns are not big balls of gas. Actually, the suns themselves aren't even floating in the sky.
Technically,
the suns are sitting in a pocket dimension, and they're being projected. That's a good word, onto the sky. But regardless, the suns are not in the sky, like they're not in space. The stars are not in space. What is in space? What if someone on our world
just
were to build a rocket ship and just rocket up into the sky? What would happen?
Well, there's a couple thoughts I had immediately. The first was, this actually kind of sort of ties into the current campaign I'm running with my also on Isidar in the Dragonborn region.
You are currently running two
campaigns.
campaigns.
Both on the same
continent. I am currently not running any because I needed a break.
And I took over his party.
I needed a break.
So one of the characters in my campaign is a type of Starborn, where he gets his power from the stars. In his specific case, this is... wait. Basically, he's a star sorcerer. That's all I'll say. But he, in theory, if you go high enough, you would be where the stars are.
Yes.
We don't really know how far away the stars are, but they're not that far away. They're not as far as they are in our world.
Are they as far as the suns?
That would make sense.
Sure.
Just put them on the same
Sure.
plane of sphere,
There we go.
sphere existence. So anyways, they're about that far away, which I know how far it is.
Not off the top.
Somewhere in the notes, if you want to find that.
We're getting really close to the camera so we can find it.
Yes.
Is it?
I think it'd be under. Satira. I did calculations somewhere. Star simulation.
Where?
Oh, it's under astronomy.
Oh.
Astronomy of Satira. No, it's not.
No, it's not. We were already here. Location and size of the suns?
Well, that would be it.
Here we go.
Hey, math.
This is freaking cool. There's a lot of math on this page. I'm glad y'all can't see it. There you go. There it is for you. I did it. You're welcome.
Thank you. Also, Satira is roughly the size of Earth for simplicity.
It made math easier when we were calculating the distance of the suns from the surface of the planet. We've done a lot.
I even had graphics to aid.
Well, we'll show it
Where's
next
the
week.
distance? Find me the distance. Moon. That's the distance of the moon.
There's
in
a
the real world.
drawing scale.
Yes.
Oh, the first wait, what? Oh, hey, you have where the suns are in relation to Satira.
What?
There's a model. There's a physical model
I
of
know.
where the suns are.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
how
doesn't
far-
tell me how freaking far they are.
Why?
I know. I know how big they are.
It's not. That doesn't matter. Location. The stars are located at exactly. What is that? 100,000 kilometers.
Oh, the suns. Oh, I just decided it. It's
Is
literally the first line of this page.
Is that 10,000 or 100,000?
That's 10,000.
10,000 kilometers above the radius of the planet.
I just arbitrarily decided that because it looked right in my model.
Sure. So 10,000 kilometers away
Yes.
are the suns and the stars.
Mhm.
So if you can break gravity.
Yep.
And get
or
more
whatever
than
the heck our version of gravity is.
Bane.
Yeah, because he pulls. No, that's too many problems.
That's lame. no, that's not good. We need something better than that.
It's
Gravity.
The seeker.
It just
constantly.
It's just gravity.
Pushing on.
It's just gravity.
On everyone.
It's just gravity.
Oh, we just have gravity.
Yeah, we'll just have gravity.
Why didn't we think of that?
I did think of that. I said it like 8 times.
Oh, that's fair.
Anyway, once you break gravity and get 10,000 kilometers away, you are in the same space as all of our suns and all of our stars.
And in theory, it's not like a perfect plane. There's a little
There's
like the atmosphere. It's kind of a vague
blur.
place.
It's a blurb.
It's a blurb.
But anyway,
So-
you get there.
Yeah, you get there, and beyond. So that's. I was talking to, I think, Nick about this, the person who's playing the Starborn, that when you get there, is that basically like being in Elysium? Is that Elysium? What's it like for a star up there? How I picture it, being a star, being dead.
In our world.
In our world.
Not. This does not reflect Daniel's religious beliefs.
No, only my beliefs of that which I have created. Which even I don't know half of it. But how I picture it is you're kind of this floating ball really far above the planet, and you're just watching life go by.
Oh.
I think I had more thoughts and they left.
But you only get to watch it.
You
only get to watch it one day a year. How's about this?
You only get a
Counterpoint.
front row seat one day a year.
Counterpoint.
The rest you can go everywhere.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Every other day of the year,
Uh-huh.
you spend in an actual afterlife. And one day a year, on the day you died, you get to look at Earth. And now this acts as both a reminder for those who got into a good afterlife, such as Elysium, and a moment of respite for those who got into a bad afterlife. I think that'd be cool. There we go. I just decided that right here.
It was good.
So you
Teamwork.
So if you take a rocket ship, which has not been invented, Robin, don't get any ideas. If you take a rocket ship to 10,000 kilometers, and you are amongst the souls, that was cool. What's next?
Well, when you said what is space, my immediate thought was the astral plane.
That's what I was thinking as
Just
well.
kind of emptiness, adrift, infiniteness, in theory.
Oh. Then Satira from the astral plane just looks like a big sun, because it's just a big ball of stars.
And then around our system are planets, and then
we're the sun in a solar system. You just decided this without telling me.
I thought we were doing it together. You led me up to it, and you set me up, and I went, and then you went, we're playing soccer.
I mean, we can. We can.
No, I don't know if that's a thing. It was funny because you said we look like a sun, and I'm like,
no, I thought
you've got a sun, you've got planets,
and you've got soccer.
So
I just thought it. I was just thinking retroactively. Anyway, we're a big ball of light.
Apparently, we look like a big ball. Oh, because it's okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So, you get out there. You're in the astral plane.
You're in space.
You're in space. Can you breathe?
It's space. I don't know. Let's get the monster man.
Yeah, can you breathe?
The DMG.
Can you breathe in the astral plane? My DMG should be over there. Not
Where?
that pile. Underneath the stand.
I have it.
There you go.
Oh, it's untabbed.
I'm sorry. I don't want to spend time tabbing something. I'm not gonna. You just slammed that on the desk.
I know I did. It's just for you, Robin.
All right. Find the astral plane.
Tell me when I'm there. This is the wrong direction.
You're going. Yeah, I was about to say. Why do I have to do this?
Because I'm making eye contact with Robin.
I'm not gonna tell you when you're there. I think you've already passed it.
About to get there. I was literally on the page. Outer Planes. We've got Ysgard Elysium. I'm gonna read the paragraph on Elysium. Is home to the creatures of unfettered kindness and compassion, and welcome a refuge for planar travelers seeking a safe haven. So there's probably ways to get from where the stars are to Elysium, because they would have to have a way from getting to where that you just spitball.
I capped it. Let's go.
Oh, oof.
All right, carry on.
Big brain moves. So yeah, there'd probably be a way to do that. It can also be limbo. There's a limbo. There is a plane of pure chaos, a roiling soup of impermanent matter and energy. Stone melts into water that freezes into metal, then turns into diamond, then burns into smoke that becomes snow, and on in an endless, unpredictable process of change.
So,
also known as my brain.
Oh, not where I thought you were going with that. I don't know. I like Astral Plane.
I think I like it too.
Better.
Limbo is more empty and chaotic than this, because
yeah.
So
Astral Plane's cooler. Okay.
it also is cooler because there's astral dreadnoughts.
Yeah. So
There's
space is just.
the
Can you breathe in the
abyss.
Astral Plane? Did you figure that out?
I'm getting to it. I'm on the 9 hells. I'm on which doesn't exist in our world. You want to talk about the 9 hells that don't exist because we don't have demons? Talk about that.
We don't have demons in our worlds because we're religious folk, and we just dodge away from stuff like that. However, we have things that are effectively the same thing.
We just don't call them.
We just don't call them demons. And so we have the 9 levels of hell. They're just not called hell.
I did pass it.
I knew you did. It was one of the first
It
pages.
was your job.
I told you to stop, and you yelled at me and kept going.
Well, we got it recorded, so let Robin be the judge of who's wrong here.
You're wrong. You're wrong here. Anyway, it's still hell. It's just not hell.
I didn't hear a word you said. The astral plane. I should be reading this to find out if they can breathe.
It's a very, very simple question. Can they breathe?
It's also a long section, so just give me a second. This is your job entertain the folks.
I know, I thought it'd be funnier if I didn't say anything. Alright, there are astral color pools.
Yeah.
To the different things.
They go to places.
They do go to places.
They're portals. They just call them color pools.
They're portals. Fun thing.
Creatures on the
Oh.
I found it.
Oh, shut up.
Creatures on the astral plane don't age or suffer from hunger or thirst. For this reason, humanoids that live on the astral plane, such as Githyanki, establish outposts on other planes, often the material plane, so their children can grow and mature. That was not the answer that I thought that was leading up to, because I didn't read the whole paragraph. But that is that. Dang, that's interesting. But I think it indirectly answers.
It does indirectly answer the can things breathe and the astral plane. So
People, you can live there.
in theory, let's take
Yes.
you and everyone who's from our party watching back in time.
Into a spaceship.
No,
What? What?
onto a ballista.
What are we doing?
At one point during the campaign,
I don't
because there
consent to
wasn't
this.
magic, I loaded members of my party onto a ballista where they were sitting in what is essentially a hang glider.
Mhm.
And then they were launched out of a ballista to glide miles into the center of the continents.
Yes.
And it worked
Nivral.
phenomenally.
Because,
Yeah.
Oh, did you say
Nivral.
that?
I did not
was
say
gonna
Nivral.
Well, yeah, I did.
Nivral.
Now.
It worked phenomenally.
Yes.
For those of you that
For-
didn't crash. Nissa crashed
For
3 times.
About half
I
of
think.
us, it worked great.
Well, Nissa was the barbarian, so she was fine. Regardless, really cool idea. Now let's just say we just catapult someone straight up, fast enough to break Earth's gravity,
But not kill them.
but not kill them. Fast enough to break Earth's gravity
Mhm.
means you have to be going 11 kilometers per second.
Yep.
You have to move 10,000 kilometers.
No. Oh, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, you have to get out 10,000 kilometers.
Mhm.
So it'll take you roughly 1,000 seconds.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll do the math later.
Yeah, we don't care.
I can't. Yep.
Anyway, if I could launch someone fast enough to break out
Mhm.
of the star layer,
Yes.
they could then live forever.
Mhm.
Just floating around.
Just floating around.
Wouldn't be much of a life.
No.
So now the question is, so now we know what's out there. And then out there will be
And-
other planets, which we have done some work on, but I don't want to spoil that just yet. While we're on the topic of going out there, has anyone done it? In Satira?
Probably. Seems. 13,000 years. Someone's thought of just going.
14.
Not quite. I'm rounding down as the DMG tells you to
It's
do.
true. 14,000 is important for us. I'm not going to share why yet. We'll do one of our party of one. Hook 'em. They got to come back. One of our party of one videos will be what the heck is like what is the
Well,
creation of the universe?
I was gonna say we have a time. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of the timeline is the timeline of Satira.
Right. I thought you were going on.
We could
The post 14.
Let's do this. We'll do a timeline of Satira next week.
Yep.
And then at some point down the line, we'll do a timeline of the universe.
Mhm.
And of
That.
other universes which do play a role in our... We have a
Or
multi...
at least.
At least one.
I was gonna say worlds. I think if we've got an astral plane, I don't think an extra universe is necessary.
Yeah, but for my original idea, it works really well.
Oh, well, we'll discuss it.
We'll figure it out.
Ah.
We'll bring it to you guys. Maybe we have a multiverse theory. I like the idea of having our own
Multiverse.
DMU.
I like the idea of them just all floating around the astral plane.
Primordials just floating around in the astral plane.
You've got Satira,
Yeah.
which is a little ball of sun, ball of light, as you said, described, and then you've got millions of others similarly that are just like the stars of Satira, all in a plane around some other central point. Just throwing that out
Okay, that's
there.
cooler than what I got. That's cooler than what I had. All right, we'll worry about that later. We'll discuss that in
Yes,
detail.
We've given you a taste.
A taste.
Of how we function, which is
We
not well.
we yell until one of us wins, and it's about 50-50 on which one that is. Whichever one has the cooler idea.
Basically.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
the
Hey,
that's
we covered,
that.
We covered a lot of ground.
Hey, we decided something.
Little
on
over an
stream.
hour. Little over an hour. Covered a lot of ground.
Hey,
I think.
roll a d20.
Can you hand me a D20?
No, just say a number. I don't care.
17.
17. Long-term madness, and that's all the time we.
Just throw myself out the window then. All right. Well, that's yeah. We're gonna call it there. For now, we'll be back next week with our little mini game that we're gonna play.
Oh, I thought we were just the timeline.
I thought the timeline was the week after
Oh,
next.
sure. Well, I thought we'll be back next week with making what will be renamed from Elatand
And Dummy.
and Dummy if we have time.
If we have time.
We'll see how long it goes.
We'll see how long it
probably
goes.
We'll do a practice round
Yeah.
and stuff and figure out the.
We'll figure it out. But thank you all very much. Banging the table. Thank you all very much for coming, for hanging out, for listening to us ramble.
Talk about our world.
Talk about our world. If you have questions, if you're watching this live, you can whisper to me, and I will write those questions down, and we will answer them next week. If you have questions and you're watching this in post on YouTube, just stick them in the comments, and
that's what they're there for.
we'll answer them next week.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We'll answer any questions you ask this week, as long as they're like not, stupid. If they're about the world, if they're just dumb questions,
They can be about us.
yeah, they can be about us. But if they're just dumb questions, we may not answer them.
Question 1. Are you gay?
We'll answer that.
We will.
You'll find out next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so ask questions in the comments. Ask questions. Whisper them to me on Twitch. If you're following us on Twitch, follow, subscribe, give me money. I don't know where they are. I think they're over there. Who cares? The YouTube will be up soon.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you edit this.
Whenever I edit this, which ideally I might find time to do it tomorrow. It'll be up on. We're gonna call it Party of One.
Mm-hmm.
I might just revamp the Odd Encounters YouTube because it's there. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this and you want to see us live on Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/momcanada.
And we'll probably have a consistent time.
We
at some
will.
point.
Tonight we started late because
The
we
thing.
wanted to attend
There was
an event that lasted longer than we thought it was going to last.
Mhm.
Let's pick a time.
Yeah. After dinner.
7?
7 sounds good.
7 sounds good.
That sounds like prime time.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on twitch.tv/momcanada.
Come look at 2 unprofessional, disappointing, flannel-wearing
Dudes.
dudes. Just 2 dudes talking.
I do also do other live streams on here where I play video games and do whatever else I feel like putting on here. I might start doing some silly live streams off my phone at random times. The only consistent live stream that will be on schedule will be Party of One Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. So you can always make sure to find us here. I may not be here every week. You may not be here every week, but someone will be here every week.
You'll have to
across the
show me
table.
how to, so I can invite. I can just get George in here.
Yeah, I was about to say, you
I just talked to
freaking
George.
yeah, just chat with George for an hour. If I'm not gonna be here, I'll set it up in advance.
Yeah.
And then you can just press go. You could get Nick in here. You could get Teddy in
That's true.
here.
Get
We
some players.
could.
You can just interview them as people.
That's true. We could. We can't. We don't have.
Learn
open-
about the players who you won't watch play because we're not streaming.
That's true.
D&D.
Once we get the apartment, we can bring in Robin and Elise as well.
True.
And yeah, that'd be fun. So yeah, we'll bring in the players over the course of time, and George,
And George.
his roommate, and will be living with us. Well, no, he'll be in
legend.
Japan next semester.
Yeah, you will. Well, we'll have to wait.
We'll have to wait. Well, he might be able to do it sometime this semester if
That's
I'm
true.
not here. And if you're not here, I'll drag in someone who we can talk. I can drag Brett in. I could drag Nick in. I could drag Teddy in.
We could drag
Tyler.
Tyler in here.
Tyler. Oh, Tyler
That'd
would be
be
fun to
good.
bring in. Fun to
John
chat
Mark
with.
in here.
John Mark would be fun to chat with.
Cool.
He was here a long time
Get
ago.
Jack in here.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
I want to do one
Micah.
where Robin and I just do what we did today at work, where we just recount the
Oh yeah,
entirety of.
I was gonna say you guys were doing that. I was like, this would be an interesting, just very chaotic.
It would be me and Robin,
Yeah, I
which
know.
would be chaotic.
Yeah.
But yes, at some point we'll recount. Robin and I have been playing D&D for
campaign.
almost 2 years now, and it has been one steady story on Satira for the past 2 years. It actually goes back before her, to my high school years which was 6 years ago, where I ran the same world. We're old. But yeah, so we'll walk through a chunk of that in the future as well. So we got big plans. I'm excited.
Yeah,
This
went
went well.
It did.
I'm proud of us.
Hopefully the audio was on.
Robin texted me.
I
I was texting her throughout, and audio seemed to be doing good, aside from the thumps. Sorry. Couldn't resist. All right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Any parting words?
Nope.
Nothing.
That's all I got.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
Thanks. That's my bit.